4 teams, 2 spots, 1 goal, 1 cup. 2 series could end tonight here on Game of the Week.
And the handshake before game number 2 starts. Team Success and the Bruins on the ice for the continuation of the series. I'm Mr. Norino.
And I'm Mr. Skillet.
And welcome to Game of the Week. We've got Team Success facing off against the Bruins. Game 2, we've got the Wheat Kings taking on the Whalers. Team Success and the Wheat Kings both looking to close out their respective series tonight and move on to the Cup final. Also, at intermission, we've got Satellite Hot Stove with some well-known FHL stars and the return of Coach's Corner. So an action-packed Friday for you this week here on Game of the Week. Tell us a little bit about our lineups today, Mr. Skillen.
Well, for Team Success, starting in goal, they got their number 1 tender going today. Butsy's in the pipes. They got Micah, Ashton, and of course the leading scorer in the league this year, Liam Jones, will be leading the way. The Bruins have Walker in goal. They got their do-everything, all-everything player in Carson. They got Eric A., Josh B., and Will T. coming to work today.
And our special guest referee, Julia Jones from the Lumberjacks. Keeping everybody honest today. And first goal of the game, Liam Jones makes it 1-0 Team Success here, only about a minute into the game.
Right on cue, and he seems to be breaking out a new celebratory dance there after he scores as well.
Well, most classes have just finished their dance unit, so maybe that was his final project. A culminating activity brought to you by Liam Jones. Puck in the Bruins' end. It's going to be difficult for the Bruins to keep that puck out of their end. Mind you, as you mentioned with the rundown of the rosters, the Team Success does not have any subs today, so they are running 3 forwards, nobody coming on, nobody going off in this 10-minute game.
Yeah, the Bruins are hoping they can run them out of gas here and take advantage towards the end of the game. But hopefully Team Success hasn't pulled away by too much by then. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult task.
Puck is deep in the Team Success end here. Josh is looking for an opening, waiting for Carson to pass it out to him. Big stop by Carson, flicks it wide. Big stop by Walker, I should say, who stood on his head in Game 1. Unfortunately, the Bruins were not able to come up with a win in that game. Frozen by Walker. Face-off in the Bruins' end.
Face-offs are always very important in this format. You're so close to the goaltender, and any quick little win can be a shot on net.
Ashton goes for the face-off, wins it, and Walker picks it up. No stop time, a reminder. The clock is running all through these 10 minutes. I think what Walker wants to do is he wants to take the steam out of Liam, take the steam out of Micah, just disrupt the flow of that game as much as he can and just hang on to the ball, not give up any shoddy rebounds here.
Liam back, throws one out.
There's Micah behind the net, and it looks like Will has cleared it. Where's that Eric? Number 1, I think that's Eric. Carson going to dig it out of their corner.
Bruins better be careful. They're sending 2 in on deep on Liam, and he's an experienced defenseman. Oh.
Carson picks up his first of the game, ties it up quick here. Only about 3 minutes in.
There's someone the Bruins rely heavily on to do a lot of the scoring damage for them.
Win or lose today, Carson set to be in. Is that in?
Right back, and a 2-1 lead now.
Answer back. I think that was Ashton. That might be his first or second goal of the playoffs.
Oh,
whoa!
And another quick one.
What do you think's going through Walker's mind right now as he just lets in 2 off the face-off?
He's got to compose himself. He's got to forget about that. It's only 3-1. All they need is get 1 and they're right back in this thing. So he's just got to kind of shut the door from here on out.
And there's a nice little kick save to keep it in the corner. Playing smart. Paddle down.
There's a good battle going on there. Looks like Micah and Carson. They'll be battling all game.
Micah and Carson. Hopefully Julia can keep a lid on that. Those two will get a little bit physical if you let them have their way. As I was mentioning earlier, Carson is going to be in Satellite Hot Stove with us right after this game. So he might be in a mood or he might be elated. We'll see how that goes. But he'll be joined by Luke Turcotte and Curtis Vierioki and myself.
Nice move by Liam there to get a shot away.
There's Liam again, trying to find somebody in the slot. Digging at it. Josh playing some good defense and clears it down the boards. There's Josh again, digging it out. Oh, a nice pass up the boards behind Liam. Liam's got the ball again.
Liam moved up, and Micah, on cue, drops back for him. Well played, well coached team. This team success. Always in great position defensively.
Yeah, and you gotta imagine that they get quite a bit of motivation from Micah. Micah has got the gift of gab, and that one almost rebounded back into Butsy's net. Micah is a motivator, and if you listen to him talk, that's what happens.
Great pass by Jonesy over to Ashton, and Ashton finishes it off.
2 in a row from Ashton Levesque. Not usually the go-to goal scorer. Usually that is reserved for Micah or Liam, but everybody's getting their stick on the puck today because they are playing with just 3. There's another one. What is going on here? Is that a hat trick for Ashton?
Team success has really opened it up here. 5-1 lead. This is going to be a real tough task for the Bruins to come back.
They've got quite the hill to climb, and only about 5 minutes or less to climb it. There's Micah. Liam playing back.
There's no quit in this team. You'll still see them giving it. Trying to climb back in this.
There's Eric digging it out against Ashton. Micah in the slot, looking for an opening. Battling with Josh. There goes Carson behind the net. He's got possession. And out it goes. Playing a good dump and chase game. That's really the only way they're going to get back. Find Josh in the opening. Josh a bit of a sniper in the last game and in the first round of the playoffs. I think playmaker has got to be Carson, and Josh just needs to be open.
Jonesy's drawing a lot of attention. Bruins seem to be running around here with 3 guys on Jonesy, and he just feathered one over to Micah, and Micah finished it off. Bruins have to play more discipline if they want to get back in this thing.
Micah Clark, some of you may not know, a budding hip-hop artist. As of now, you can find his music on YouTube. Just search for Breezy E, and you will find his songs Reflex, Hurricane, Housewives, and Tale of Two Cities now on YouTube, soon to be on iTunes. Micah Clark, Grammy winner 2019.
Exciting stuff for those young fellas.
Julia Jones drops the puck here deep in the Bruins net, and that's another goal.
Right
or is it?
The face-off. We talked about that. Like, the face-off's so close, like that can be an opportunity on net, and there you have a perfect example of what can happen.
Yeah, some of these guys just basically are shooting it as soon as the puck drops. Not looking to win the face-off, just looking to hammer it forward, and that looked like what happened, and
that was
successful.
Ashton, and he got another one.
Holy Mackinac!
He's got to have at least 5. Looks like we got a celebration coming up here. No, he's keeping the helmet on. He had something planned, but Julia shut him down. That girl, Julia, would to keep this thing going.
Yeah. No end zone celebrations like in the NFL. We got to keep it humble here. There's Carson fighting for it. No give up in that gentleman. I got a feeling he's not going to be happy when he joins us at Satellite Hot Stove in about 2 minutes here. Wait a minute. I don't think that was in. Well, that was in, but I don't think that's a goal.
No slapping.
Oh, no, that was a slap shot. That's a no-no. We don't have chest protectors. We're not taking wild slap shots. We're not Stan Mikita.
Call by Julia. She calls it off. No goal.
No goal. That has been a rule for many a year here in the FHL. Can't remember the consequence from whence it came, but yeah, you can hit it however you want, but you can't score with a slap shot. Not enough room in this small stadium. FYI, when we do get to the final, that is an outdoor game, so there's going to be a lot more room to make some plays out in the court. So that's coming at you as soon as we decide who's going to be in the final. It looks pretty clear that Team Success is going to be making that trip. 7 goals to make up in just over a minute here. I don't think they can do it, Mr. Skillen.
No, it can't be done. Unless they get a touchdown and convert it.
And there's our trigger for the last minute. Walker now stepping up his game. And, is that 9? That's 9. Spoke too soon.
Team Success is really putting it on here.
I don't believe that Team Success has won a game this season by such a wide margin. We know that the 9-goal differential is our threshold. Haven't really experienced that in the playoffs.
Well, especially down to the Final Four like this. Usually pretty tight checking games, very close. Everyone's pretty close. Anyone can win this thing, but it looks like Team Success has put it all together today.
Yeah, and we're going to have 2 sessions with Mr. Nyberg between the benches in the next game. I know that he spoke with Carson Bebo before the game. I know that he's got some inside stuff that he would want to share with the as it pertains to the Bruins, but it looks like this one is all but done. Huge shot off the post. That was a nice, you know what? That looked like a big shot from Will.
Will with the big boomer. He can fire that puck.
And that's it. We've got our first team with their ticket punched to the Sanders Cup final coming up very soon as we find out how far the next series will go.
And the traditional handshake, always one of the best things about hockey.
We'll be back for Game 2 of the Whalers Wheat King series, coming up with me and some FHLers on Satellite Hot Stove, followed by Coach's Corner. And we'll be right back.
The Hot Stove on Game of the Week.
And welcome to the first edition of Satellite Hot Stove here on Game of the Week. I'm Mr. Norino, joined by recently eliminated stealth forward Luke Turcotte.
Hi.
Hey, Luke. I've also got even more recently eliminated from the game we just watched, the leader of the Bruins, Carson Bebo. Yes. And Curtis Viriocchi, who is the top goal scorer from the Whalers, just about to get underway here on Game 2, the Whalers and the Wheat Kings. Hey, Curtis.
Hello.
All right. So what we've got are 3 quick topics here just to discuss, and I'll get your feelings on everything. The first and probably biggest one is the parity of the league and the fact that some GMs felt a little bit frustrated this season that the teams weren't as balanced as they could be. Maybe some teams were stacked. Your thoughts on that?
Team Success, definitely top team in the league, and they're full of grade 8s, and all those grade 8s are very talented. Teams like my team before were the Cruisers. The Cruisers and Stealth had to split, or they had to come together and merge because they're both losing all their games, and it wasn't working out too well.
Yeah, I feel there needs to be a lot of change for next year to ensure that everyone will enjoy themselves.
Okay, so traditionally we've had a draft and we have GMs and they pick their players. The draft is slated for just after the Heritage Classic in a few weeks. How do we do better? How do we modify the plan so that the teams are a little bit more balanced?
I have a feeling that you're going to have to find a way to split up all the talent, so maybe have a seeding where all the top players are split up. So like you rank them like round 1, then you have to pick from round 1, so they're all split up. And so on and so forth.
I don't know if my idea is a good idea. I just made it up. I'm going to throw it out there. Why don't we do a regular draft as normal? Then after that, we do like a tryout, and then the GM will pick out of all their players. And then the leftover players just go anywhere.
That's the way to go.
Problem with that is you still, if some teams end up with a lot of stacked players, that could still make it so they're still really.
So why don't we look at the stats and take like six of the top goal scorers from the grade like 5s to the grade 7s, and then divide them up, and then make them the GMs, then take other players who are just under them and add them to a team.
Do the stats of the year before that year.
Absolutely. And one thing that I should mention moving forward is there are a lot of grade 8s that play in this league this year. Not a lot of grade 7s coming up, but an absolute ton of grade 4s going into grade 5 that are going to be ready to play next year. So it's going to be a very young league next year. There's going to be a lot of unknowns. We won't exactly know who is skilled in grade 5 in September, but moving right along. The Heritage Classic coming up after the draft, if there is a draft. How are we going to select who is playing in the Heritage Classic?
maybe you could take the top goal scorers, for, like say top 10 to 15, depending on how many players you want. Then, due to the fact that there's some great players who don't get a lot of points, you could have the league commissioner or someone heavily involved in the league pick a couple extra players who didn't quite make it.
Any other suggestions?
I didn't even hear him.
Oh, but sorry, I guess our audio isn't working at the airport there. Where are you headed anyway, Carson?
I think I might be heading near either Russia, somewhere in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Why? Like any
Flying Air Canada?
I think I'm taking United.
Oh, you better watch
that's
out.
the-
Oh, Carson.
Yeah.
That was a bad choice. That must have been a cheap ticket.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
All right, next on the docket, what was our next topic? I seem to have forgotten. Awards. That's right. So we know that the only award that's currently off the table is the Art Ross. Liam's got that for 31 goals. Other awards, the Vezina, best goalie. The Norris, the best defensive forward. The Hart, the most valuable player in the league. Even the Bill Masterson Leadership Award. Any suggestions on who gets what? The
think
Norris,
the-
perhaps.
Norris, that's me.
That was you last year, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You got competition this
Well,
year.
Hey, Luke,
Yeah.
you might have blocked more shots than me.
Yeah.
We're both defense, but
Yeah.
it's also the offensive defense. I think I have more goals than you. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I didn't look that up
Guys, you
yet.
can't just all go off of goals because there's also playmaking.
Oh,
That's a big factor too.
I set up some plays.
And there's
Not a
I
lot.
blocked all their players.
a lot of other strong, grade A talent that could get them that award.
Well, we're just about out of time here, and we know we've got to hand it over to Ron and Don at Coach's Corner coming up right away. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey,
Luke,
Ron,
Luke,
hey.
good luck on your next round.
All right.
Carson, don't get dragged off that plane.
Yeah.
All right.
And
My pleasure with you.
best of luck in Game 2 coming up right after Coach's Corner, Curtis.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
See ya.
Dude.
Coach's Corner with Don and Ron. Brought to you by Mallin's Promotional Clothing and Products. Locally owned, locally produced.
All right, Don, you look ridiculous. But why?
You're ridiculous. What do you mean ridiculous? You know, for once, I got on my computer and
You
checking
mean you
the-
figured out how to log on to that thing?
let me finish. Went onto my computer and I was checking the weather up where you love, up in Kenora, northwestern Ontario, Kenora, that whole area, Dryden, Fort Francis. And, you know, they're getting 3 to 5 centimeters of snow this weekend. Those people are tough. End of April, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. End of April, and they're getting snow again. The lakes are still frozen. This is an honor for those tough people. This is what they're doing this weekend. This is how they got to dress. Anyway, what's next?
Love it. Well, we got playoffs. We're coming towards the end of the playoffs. We have Team Success and the Wheat Kings meeting in the finals. Same thing as last year, same teams, and boy, are we excited about it. What do you think the keys are going to be for the Wheat Kings, being the underdog? How do you think they're going to compete with Team Success this year?
Well, I really think it's going to be a difficult chore for that Wheat Kings team. They're young. They're a young squad, but they got a lot of heart. The other squad, they're bigger, they're tougher, but you know what? You never know. One game take all. They could rise up. They could do it.
Some would say it's Gustafson boys taking on Liam Jones, especially on that team. I mean, he's a one man wrecking ball, right?
Well, yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player, but he's small too. He's quick, but he's small. You know, maybe the Wheat Kings got a strategy to hold him back a little bit. You never know.
Yeah, Barrett
His kids are
Edburn
small.
will definitely be a factor as well.
Well, he's a little hustler. He could keep up to that Jonesy guy. No problem there.
Absolutely. Heritage Classic we've got coming up after the playoffs. Teachers versus students. Always a big event around the school here. And we've got some great hockey players on the teacher squad, including that Mr. Stansfield. Wow, is he? I've heard a lot of good things about
Who?
Mr. Stansfield, his name is.
Mr. Stansfield.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I've heard something about that young fella. He's, I don't,
He's good.
well, in your mind, I don't know where you saw him play. I've only heard rumors. You know, he can get himself to the arena and play, but what does he bring to the arena? I'm not quite sure. Kind of like, you know, I've been hacking on that poor Zaitsev from the Leafs, but I don't know what he brings to the Leafs. Just like, what does Stansfield bring to this Heritage Classic team? We're not quite sure. Anyway, what's next?
Okay, well, I guess we shall see how that goes.
They do. Hold on, I'm not finished.
Yeah.
I hear they got a pretty good goalie though.
I was just going to say,
The Nerno guy.
Mr. Nerino.
Yeah,
Mr.
Nerno.
Nerino.
He's a big kid. He can stop pucks. I don't know if he's got the lungs to stay in net that long, but you know, he can give it a try.
Well, he sure got the old school style too, the stand up style. It's incredible to see, and not a lot goes by him.
Well, we'll see how much goes by him.
Yeah. So prediction on how many Stansfield will score though? Any predictions on that?
Maybe in warm up, 1 or 2.
In warm-ups. Okay. We have NHL playoffs as well. We have some teams that are getting swept. We have teams that are down 3-1. We have some teams that are tied. All in all, it's been a good playoffs. But what do you think about the playoffs so far, NHL?
Well, geez, I'm glad you gave me a chance to speak. Anyway, what people want to hear is what I have to say. I look at the Rangers, the Habs. That's a tough series. Last night, 100 hits in that game. Oh, my goodness.
Rangers going up 3-2?
Yeah, they did. That, you know, how many games have gone into overtime so far? Can't believe it. Can't believe it. I think it's a record. I look at the Leafs. Who thought the Leafs would have been where they are? I can't believe that one either. Out of this world, those Leafs.
2-2 in that series.
Absolutely. I think there was some of them that, you know, they were going to go the way they were. Except, you know what? The Hawks. Who ever thought that would have happened the way it did? Those poor Hawks. Let's give it some of them. For all of you out there, we know what this is. There we are. Yes. Yes. The Hawks have been swept. Who knows what happened? Maybe it's time to retool.
That's going to throw a big wrench into a lot of people's playoff pools as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't condone gambling now. You know me.
Absolutely. Well, the Hawks are out, and so are we on Coach's Corner.
Good to see Ron and Don back doing their magic with Coach's Corner. Back with you again is Mr. Nerino.
And Mr. Skillen.
And we did have a pre-recorded bit of insight from Mr. Nyberg for Between the Benches. Didn't make it into that barn burner of a 9-1 win by the Team Success, who have made it to the final. Let's check in with Mr. Nyberg now with the Bruins.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. Quite the game you're calling up there. Unfortunately, from my angle down here, it looks like the clock might just strike midnight on Walker Hazelwood and the Bruins after their Cinderella-type run in these playoffs. We shouldn't forget, however, that this is hockey, and anything can happen. Everyone remembers the 2013 NHL playoffs involving the Leafs and the Bruins? Well, I know Mr. Skillen hasn't forgotten. We're going to have to sit back and wait and see what happens during this game. That's it for me. Back to you boys in the booth.
And we're back here. One quick goal by, I think that was Barrett Edinburgh.
Carter Gustafson.
Carter Gustafson putting the Wheat Kings on the board in the running for the Calder Trophy, as we know. So the Wheat Kings are one goal closer to meeting Team Success in the final. What's our lineup look like today, Mr. Skillen?
Well, for the Wheat Kings in goal, they have Landon Friesen, one of the better backstops in the league. They have Barrett Edinburgh, a top scorer and outstanding in the shootouts. Carter Gustafson, that you mentioned there, a Calder candidate, and his brother, Brandon Gustafson, who scored the goal. And I think Carter's older brother is Brandon. And we have Matthew Smith on D. For the Whalers in the pipes, we have Lachlan Ryan. We have Curtis Varioki, one of the top snipers in the league, with Colby Lapointe, Brett Cairns, and Jacob Howarth rounding out the Whalers squad.
Two very strong squads here going for... Oh! And the play continues. Wasn't sure if Friesen had control of that puck or if it had crossed the line.
One of the Whalers thought it might have went in, but we don't have instant replay, so we're going to just continue play.
Good call on that one, and puck cleared out from the Whalers' end, picked up by Carter, chased intently into the corner by Brett Karen. Be back shortly here with Mr. Nyberg, who's talked at length with both of these teams. He has his favorites. He won't let them be known to us, but definitely going to be a closer game than the one we witnessed in Game 1. There's a nice wraparound goal by Barrett Edinburgh. We'll check in with Mr. Nyberg between the pipes.
All right, thanks, boys. What you're looking at here is an instant classic. Both teams leaving it all on the floor. Just an incredible showing of offensive skill. It's going to come down to who can make a big play for their team in the end. It's like my dad always said, you got to shoot the puck in hockey. I think the difference today could actually come down to the goaltending. Keep an eye on Lachlan Ryan. The lock net monster is going to have his name on many pieces of hardware before his career is over. We're in for a tight photo finish out there, boys. That's it for me. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks for that, Mr. Nyberg. Incidentally, looking to bring in Mr. Nyberg to join Mr. Skillen and I to call the final game. As you know, that final game is a doozy. It's 3 periods. It's on a big ice surface. I think we've got 8-minute periods. And as well, there are some alumni returning, so it'll be quite the show the next time we visit each other.
We just got clarification on that first goal. It was Brandon Gustafson who sniped it, probably assisted by his brother Carter.
Those boys in lockstep, much like the Sedin twins, playing off of one another and really making things look easy out there. 2-0 Wheat Kings, almost halfway through this game.
Whalers will be looking to their big gun Curtis here to try and get him back into this thing. Nice little move by Barrett. Look at him. He can really dangle it.
And some fantastic goaltending there by Lachlan Ryan, keeping that puck underneath him, lying down on it, making sure he doesn't give up any sloppy rebounds.
Yeah, he's a solid goalie. They're going to be crashing the crease here, trying to cause some traffic around him. If he sees it, he's going to stop it.
Oh, and that's a disappointing one. Curtis playing back on D.
For sure, he'd like to have that one back. Big 3-0 lead. Barrett with his second of the game.
Can you come back halfway through with a powerhouse team like these Wheat Kings? I don't know.
All it takes is one here, and the Whalers will probably get a little momentum from that, and they can build on that. You got to get that first one. There's a big save.
That could be what we need to change the momentum in this game.
And there you go, right on cue.
Curtis Varioki lighting the lamp, and we're right back into a hockey game.
Isn't that always the way? They're big chance on one end, and then they come down and score on the other.
And Friesen freezes it. Only about 4 minutes left to go here. 3-1 Wheat Kings.
Again, face-offs are ultra important here.
There's Curtis, huge save by Friesen, and that one, the rebound he gives up, that's a goal.
Wow, what a shot. Not much room there. He tucked it right over the shoulder and into the top shelf, right where they keep the peanut butter.
What has flipped Curtis's switch? He is on fire all of a sudden. Could he tie this one up all by himself, getting the hat trick within a minute or so? We will have to wait and see. And there comes Colby. Huge shot, and it's a goal. Or no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're tied. 3-3.
That was Colby.
The hats are coming out. They must have thought it was Curtis.
Well, maybe he tipped it in.
Isn't that something? It was 3-0. Huge save by Lachlan Ryan. It could have been 4-0, and all of a sudden 3 quick goals by the Whalers. And look who pumps one. Barrett Edinburgh with the hat trick. And here come the hats.
That's a lot of goals so far. Almost as many as we had in Game 1. 10 goals in total between Team Success and the Bruins. This one a little bit more balanced.
And Curtis replies, and it's 4-4. There's no defense being played whatsoever right now. It's just end-to-end action, and guys are just sniping it left and right.
Dire consequences means you're going to shift your entire strategy and just put everything on net. Keep everybody forward, and you never know what's going to happen. We got to play smarter now, though.
Wheat Kings back on their heels a little bit. Whalers have all the momentum, it seems. Oh, big save there. Big save there by Landon Friesen.
That is a rebound. That is a rebound you do not want to give up to Curtis out in front. That's when you lose that lead. They haven't lost the lead yet. Digging at it, playing smart. Julia doing a fantastic job at keeping the pace of this game at a pretty fast clip.
Quick line change. Maybe Matthew Smith has come on.
Where did we go? Oh, that was up. That was up in the rafters.
Or is that the other Gussie been brought in? Not sure.
I'm pretty sure that Carter wears the hoodie. Or maybe they both wear hoodies. Can't quite tell.
Things have settled down a little bit after that barrage of goal scoring.
Somebody must have said something for them to start playing defense again.
Well, there's a lot of firepower on the ice. When you got Barrett and the Gussie boys and then Curtis on the other side with Colby, there's a lot of snipers out there.
Big shot. I think that's Ethan. I think that's Ethan Marion in the gray pants there. There's Barrett. Passing back to Brandon. Clears it. Diving save. Way out of his net for that one. Is Friesen. And Laughlin's got it and he freezes it there. Getting close to that minute warning.
You're right, we might have missed Ethan on the starting lineup.
I believe we did.
So they have 2 subs, the Wheat Kings.
Most subs of any team that's playing today. Some teams playing without subs. Some shaky camera work, not quite sure where the puck has gone. There's Brandon dumping it into the Whalers' end. I think they find if they just keep dumping it that Curtis has to play it from a long distance away. And they have a better chance of keeping it even or going up one more goal before the end of the game here. Could we be pushing for another shootout? We know that the Whalers lost in the shootout in Game 1. Oh, digging at it. Brett Karen. Can't make anything happen. There's Gustafson.
Hard work in Brett Cairns.
And that's in. That is in? No.
Nope.
It is not.
Look at Julia hustling, keeping this game moving. Don't like to waste a lot of time.
There's Brett with the puck.
Notice, not like the NHL where the referee or the linesman is standing over the face-off dot for countless seconds, telling guys where to put their sticks and to wave them out.
First shot was no goal. That was a goal. Wheat Kings taking the lead again.
5-4, and we're getting down close to the end here.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Whalers are going to be pushed. Oh, that's a big save. If the Whalers come back and tie this, we can go back to that save. And, oh, there it is. It is a tie game.
That was a squeaker. How did that get underneath Landon Friesen, I would like to know. That's very, very unlike him. And a frozen puck here by Lachlan Ryan.
Now they'll be throwing everything at the net. Not much time left.
3 seconds left, 4 seconds left. Holy smokes. We're going to another shootout, Mr. Skillen. 2 weeks in a row. Now it's the Wheat Kings' chance to win their second shootout consecutively and put the nail in the coffin here.
Barrett's going first. Like I said earlier in the game, he is a shootout specialist. This is his time to shine. He usually performs quite well. I believe he had 2 in the shootout last game.
Yeah, in international rules, Barrett can shoot 3 times in a row if he wants. And here he comes.
Oh, that's a huge save to start. Lachlan Ryan. Advantage Whalers. If Curtis can put one in here, they'll be increasing their odds of winning this thing.
And here comes the tall Finn. Oh, gets off center. Can't find the puck for the backhand and doesn't make it go.
Poke check by Landon, and he just couldn't recover, and he missed the net.
Yeah, once again, shades of Battle and Billy Smith. Here comes Brandon Gustafson. Huge shot, top
Beautiful
shelf.
shot. One of the reasons he is probably the leading candidate for the Calder Trophy this year.
And here comes Colby. Big save by Landon. You remember in the shootout last time, we definitely had the puck go over the net. It was a crushing miss by Colby. But you know what? We're still going here. I think the cameraman wasn't sure.
Carter could end it here. Goal here wins it.
Oh, that's Brandon.
Oh, Brandon, sorry. And he
Does
snipes
it.
another one.
Does it? That's 2.
And that's it. That does it. Brandon, there's Carter getting in there to celebrate with his brother. But Brandon with 2 shootout goals here to win it for the Wheat Kings. A lot of mutual respect being shown here by the players. Hard-fought series. And like good old hockey players, they tip their hat to the other team.
And we'll be joined in a moment. I've got lined up Barrett Edinburgh is going to be joining me in a moment just to discuss the end of that series. And we'll also be talking to Liam and Micah.
You got it.
We'll see you on the next Game of the Week. I've been Mr. Norino.
And I'm Mr. Skillen.
Keep your stick on the ice. Barrett, you've just punched your ticket to the Cup Final, happening next week. Another matchup for the ages, Team Success, and your Wheat Kings. You've only had a few games against them this season. What are you going to do to get ready? How are you going to beat them in that one game winner-take-all?
I think our way to winning this cup is taking it step by step. Everything, we'll try to play a perfect game, and we're going to try to get the bounces that we need.
It's going to be a grueling 3 periods. I wish you all the best next week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks. Liam, you're the Art Ross Trophy winner for this year. Most goals in the league. How's that going to translate in you winning the cup?
Well, I think most goals doesn't really matter. As long as our team's all healthy and we're all playing to the best of our abilities, I think we'll have no problem taking these guys down.
You're a grade 8. This is your last year in the FHL. Is this the year that Team Success finally brings home that cup after 3 years of existence in our league?
Well, we had a hard loss last year, so all we can hope is that we can do it this year.
Best of luck. Thanks, Liam.
Thank you.
Micah, you guys are going to the Cup Final. You've been there before. What are you going to do to finally get Team Success this elusive Sanders Cup?
Well, we're going to do better than we did last year. These children we're playing against, they're tiny compared to all of us. So we have the advantage because we have much bigger players and more skilled. So that clearly makes the point that we're going to be the better team. So I already know we don't need luck or anything. We're going to win.
Thanks, Micah. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.